Of course, that was the Prime Minister, Dr. Keith Rowley, speaking at the 2018 Energy Conference yesterday. Well, we switch gears a little bit. We are talking to Sheldon Powell, CEO of Billionaires League. The Billionaires League Best Portfolio Management App Caribbean 2017, and they were nominated by World Bank Group and won Best Portfolio Management Application for the entire Caribbean region. The award came from the CFI, and he is here to tell us all about it. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. So what is the Billionaires League app exactly?
The Billionaires League is a mobile application that actually empowers users and give insights into the world's billionaires, leading billionaires, investment banks, and pension funds, stock portfolio in Wall Street in real time. So it's just a mobile application that you have direct access to them from your mobile device, where you could learn habits of trading and investing in stocks. So yes, that's just it in a nutshell.
All right. And what are some of the accomplishments? You all had several awards. You competed with Jamaica, competed with Singapore, and so many others, and won.
Yeah, well, the novelty behind it is we're a team, first of all. So I have to give praise to the Almighty. You know, being from the Caribbean, we're one Caribbean people, irrespective of the nationality, right? So the achievement was amazing, because by having Forbes on board as a data provider, that was a very difficult task, and we're able to win them over. Now, from the awards to the recognition to competing, we want to get the application to market. We want people to fall in love with the application, to understand the power that it possesses, so that they could be empowered when it comes to making financial decisions, when it comes to stock investing or anything whatsoever, because they're piggybacking on the billionaires themselves. But to note, we've been testing the market since 2 years now, from American Chamber of Commerce conferences, UE, Kariri, Tobago House of Assembly. We've been speaking throughout, and we're amazed of the response that we're getting publicly. So we decided to officially launch now, so that people are more aware of what the technology does.
Okay, so educate us a little bit about the technology itself, and just how much money do you need to start investing? Is there a trial period?
Yes, first of all, the technology concept came from the United States SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission. So the data is public. What we do is build algorithms to break down the data, public data, so that it's easy to understand, right? We have a broker center in the application, which is profound, because for people who don't have a brokerage account in the Caribbean, they could now get one in our application, right? Secondly, there's no minimum. Several brokers start with, let's say, $10 to get started. For example, Drive Wealth is one of the brokers, and TD Ameritrade, right? So there's no restrictions with our application, what you can and cannot do in terms of opening a brokerage account. We're data providers. We don't deal with accepting funds, etc. So we launched last year privately at Hyatt, where the mayor was a guest speaker, and we grew organically to 450 something users, to be exact, right? So we're running like a freemium trial period, and we've cut that and now run it for a 7-day trial, which we've now initially initiated since January, right? So people could get 7 days free trial, and afterwards it's $6.99 to subscribe monthly to get the data in real time, which is key, because the feed from the stock exchange is real time. And in the Caribbean, the broker dealers locally, some of them data are lagged by 15 minutes. So where would they have an edge? So the concept for the user is, if you have our application, you have the edge by opening a brokerage account. One, learn how to invest in stocks by just simply clicking a button, replicate, and you will copy what the broker dealers locally, some of them data are lagged by 15 minutes. So where would they have an edge? So the concept for the user is, if you have our application, you will have the edge by opening a brokerage account. One, learn how to invest in stocks by just simply clicking a button, replicate, and you will copy what the stocks the billionaires own into your portfolio. And to note, you could own small shares. You could put $10 in Apple, $5 in Google, and own fraction of those large companies. And that's the value proposition in real time.
Okay. What about difficulty in obtaining US dollars? Does this have any impact?
No, fantastic questions, because the central bank made it public that there are local broker dealers you should go when it comes to foreign exchange trading, correct?
Yes.
In the United States, they have broker dealers as well. So TD Ameritrade, Interactive Brokers, Charles Schwab, all of these are US-based broker dealers. So the minute you're a national from the Caribbean and you open up an account, you could use your credit card, debit/credit card, put TT on your card, and you could do transaction. You could link your credit card to your brokerage account, and you could deposit funds on your account. So it doesn't fix it, but it helps. It helps you to use TT, deposit in your international brokerage account, and that automatically, because it's a broker in the States, convert into US. You understand? So that's one solution to that, right?
So what is the benefit of using this app compared to other financial investment apps?
Good question. Now, let's go back to the award. Best Portfolio Management Application in the Caribbean. So our track record speaks for itself. Secondly, the user journey is what we're focusing on. For example, you decided to invest in stocks or to have a stock brokerage account with the local broker dealers, which is fine. We're a tool that gives you access to piggyback inside the Billionaires portfolio. For example, Fidelity Investment, which is owned by Abigail Johnson with a net worth of $18 billion. So imagine you have an app, right, that gives you direct access, up close and personal inside your private holdings. You could see the sectors they invested in. Number one. Number two, Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. Bill Gates was just in Trinidad, and you saw the yacht he came on, right? Now, people get the whole hype behind it, but we're saying, give it a try. Try the application, see for yourself. You understand me? Which is why we give 10,000 US virtual money for users to practice with, to get the hang of it. So we're not saying give us your money. No, we give you 10,000 virtual money to get the hang of it in real time. So Wall Street opens at around 9 o'clock, turning at 9:30 and close at 4. And in between that, you could play with it, see it work for, let's say, a month or two, and then now you go to the next level. So the journey is for those users who have no education whatsoever, who have no experience, who've lost in the past, who think this is not for them. Those are the people we want to communicate to, so that they could feel empowered that there's an application that could guide them what to do.
So it guides you? How does it, is it step by step? How does it work?
So we have the MVP, so it's 3 versions we're going to release. We'll have the second version, which is automation, and the third version, which is artificial intelligence, AI. But the first one now is just to press a button. So we've patented our procedure in the United States Intellectual Property Database, where once you click replicate, it copies what they own, the same percentage exposure portfolio, the same amount of stocks, the top largest stocks in your portfolio, the top 11. So you own the same stock Bill Gates owned. From then now, when the market opens and closes, you see a portfolio move in accordance with Bill Gates. You understand? So let's say Bill Gates decided to sell a stock or to buy a stock. That's in version 2, where you could get real-time messages when Bill Gates buy or sell a stock. So you could literally mimic his exact move. You follow me? So
those are real-time data. Is that available in other apps, or this is something just exclusive to your app?
It's exclusive. Reason being, our challenge initially, and it has been a journey with Forbes, because Forbes provide content and history about these billionaires. They don't disclose their public stock portfolio. So to win Forbes over was a big accomplishment, right? Secondly, the data is like a 60-pager. The data of the billionaires portfolio is like a 60-pager. So how can the average person understand that? So we had to create these algorithms to make it so easy to understand it, number one. Number two, we had to power it with New York Stock Exchange data feed, S&P, and the Dow Jones. So those stocks you're seeing is literally in real time. So being in real time in a virtual environment is the perfect opportunity to get people to learn how to invest. And once you reach that comfort level within 2 to 3 months, then now you go to the next step. So you know what? I think I could do this. Let me go up and open in the app one of those international broker dealers. Or you could use it as a tool. Speak to one of your local broker dealers at a German Bureau for Citizens Investment You could use the app as a research portal to tell them what to do, but the journey is in the user's hands. We want to empower the user so they're in control of the decision-making process about their financial life. That's the general concept.
So you can just download the app on
Yes,
mobile phones?
Correct. So we're currently on Google and Apple. We're, as you know, it's a smart technology. It gets smarter the more people use it. Okay? Now, you could go to the Google Play Store, type the Billionaires League or Android, or go on our Facebook page, and you'll have a general idea of what we've been doing so far. The Billionaires League app, the Billionaires League, and you're able to get some insights after how to get access to the app. But our main two source is Apple and Android.
Okay. How long has it been in Trinidad and Tobago, and what has been the response so far?
Now, interesting, because we've always building the technology.
Okay.
So we're now going to market. So it's been 2.5 years, a lot of blood, sweat and tears, and a lot of money as well. Because going internationally, right, to get those data feed, for example, real time from a broker dealer standpoint, that's $100,000 per month as a broker dealer in the Caribbean to get the stock exchange data in real time. You follow me? So being a fintech company slash software developer, the cost reduce on our side, but the achievement is what we're about to go to market with. So people are aware and could come on that journey with us.
Okay, great. Such a pleasure chatting with you. Just closing comments. Where can we get more information?
Definitely, we'll be in the papers. We'll be heavily in the press. We have several interviews lined up back to back. You could go on our Facebook page or website, our Instagram account. Definitely the Instagram account, and read up anything, right?
Thank you so much, Mr. Sheldon Powell, CEO, Billionaires League. We've been chatting about that best portfolio management app, Caribbean 2017. Thank you so much. We take a short break and return with more. Stay tuned.